Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Flying Over 50 at Any Age. I'm Cyrus Webb, joined by my co-host, Miss Makeda Smith, aka Makeda Queen. If you guys are following her on social media of the Makeda Method, we welcome you guys joining us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and X. We're about to bring in our friends over there on IG and connect with our friends over on Amazon Live so we can get into our next selection here in our book. And we are live here on Amazon Live. We want to welcome you guys tuning in to Flying Over 50 at Any Age. Stephen, hello to you over there on Amazon. Thank you so much for the follow. If you guys are new to us on Amazon, make sure you guys hit that follow button. You see that here in this corner or down below. We have programming here 6 days a week here on Amazon. So make sure you guys stay connected with us. Also on Amazon, you will see the book by my co-host, Flying Over 50 at Any Age. That's, of course, the title of our show. We're excited you all could join us as we're going through Makeda's book, talking with her about her reflections, but also the lessons for all of us. If you guys have any questions or comments, Allie, hello to you. We're just talking about you, Allie. Hello
We
to you
sure
over
did.
there on IG. Makeda, how you doing?
Hi, Cyrus. Hello to the audience. Blessings, everybody.
Well, Makeda and I were just talking, and it's hard to believe we're now in week number 3. Makeda, how is it feeling? I know in the beginning, you were talking about the nerves. How are you feeling going into week 3?
My nerves are getting a little better. Each week it gets a little better. I'm hoping this becomes like old hat.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Well, I was telling you, Ellie and I, we have our series that's on Fridays here on Amazon Live. Uh, Ellie says, "Uh-oh." But based on her book, It's Okay Not to Be Fabulous Every Day. So make sure you guys, again, are following us on Amazon so you guys don't miss it. We're in, for those who don't know, so Makeda's book is Flying Over 50 at Any Age, a 30-day self-journal for speeding past limitations. And yes, that is her on the cover, flying there, as you all can see. But what we've done is we've turned in her 30-day devotional into a 30-week series here on Amazon Live. So it gives you an opportunity to literally go through the entire book, to hear from the author herself about her reflections, but also what she hopes you're able to take away from the book. So if you guys have not gotten your copy, you can get the print edition there, as you can see, for only $9.99. You can also get the Kindle edition there for $5.99. I was telling Makeda, I love this topic for today. For day 3 in the book, it's on page 8 for those who have the print edition. That is, opportunities are like tricksters. They don't always look like what they are. I love this. I think you guys are going to love it too. So let's dive into it. It was the 80s, and I was shacking up with a boyfriend. Yes, I'm showing my age. Shacking up was what we called living together back in the day. I had just finished grad school at USC. My daughter was in Chicago with my mom, and I was trying to find my way and find a job in my profession in Los Angeles. I was working temp doing receptionist work at an insurance agency, not what I imagined myself after securing an undergrad degree from Boston University and now a graduate degree from the equally prestigious University of Southern California. My boyfriend showed me an ad for a non-paid internship at an entertainment public relations office in West Hollywood. I thought he was crazy, and I was pretty insulted. I reminded him I had 2 degrees and a baby I needed to provide for. How the heck did I look working somewhere for free? He patiently explained to me about how sometimes experience can be just as, if not more, valuable than money. I needed hands on experience to complement my degrees, and the internship could lead to a paid job, great networking in my field, invaluable training, and more. I begrudgingly interviewed for the position, secured the internship, and as they say, the rest is history. That unpaid internship led to one job, then another, and I was on my way. And in about 3 years, I was launching my own PR firm, which I still own and operate to this day. What opportunities have knocked on your door or are knocking on your door that you are hesitant to answer? Maybe it's time to open that door and get ready to start flying. Don't just think about it, write about it. So Makeda, this is a powerful one, and I said this to you before we went on here because I
Mhm.
think there are a lot of people that would have thought like you. but what was it like for you? I was curious though, because now you've been. Tell our audience, how long have you now owned your own public relation firm?
I think I've been in business like 37 years now. I think this is my 37th year. It's like crazy to think about it.
So 37 years.
37 years.
So what was it like for you to be writing this? Because the book came out in 2024. To be writing this and to think about how that ad for an for an internship has turned into this.
Ad from a non-paid internship.
Oh, I'm sorry, a non-paid internship.
That's all I remember back. I was in my 20s, right? I remember like the idea of going somewhere to work and not being paid sounded like it sounded insane to me.
Yeah.
I was like, how do you go somewhere and excuse me, how do you go somewhere and not be paid? What I later found out was in the entertainment business, which I knew nothing about at the time. Non-paid internships are how you get your foot in the door. And so it really turned out to be one of the most lucrative moves I could ever make because that non-paid internship, the employer hired me like within 2 or 3 weeks. He brought me on part-time and then full-time. And then I transitioned to another job, And like my book says, the rest is history. But it really all started with the non-paid internship. And it taught me that sometimes money is not the only value. There's some things that are equally as important and almost sometimes hard to believe I'm saying this as a Capricorn, more important than actual money because the experience I gained and the network opportunities really carried me. They literally carried me through to this day.
Right. Right. I see you guys over there on YouTube. You guys have any questions or comments for Makeda? Make sure you guys put those in the chat. Same for you guys over here on Amazon. If you guys have any questions or comments, put those in there too. And I was thinking, I know it's bad to say this name right now, but I have to be real because, as someone who's always looking at examples, Makeda, for myself, I have to be honest about who was one of those examples for me. And one of those was Sean Combs. I know today,
But
a lot of people are
can I say something? The first time I met Sean Combs, he was an intern. He was speaking on a panel and he was an intern and he was so dynamic and he literally from my memory, like control, like I don't remember anyone else on the panel. I remember him on the panel and he was an intern. Or either he was talking about how he started.
That's right there. See, I didn't even know. Guys, we did not discuss this.
No, not at all. I can't believe you said that.
But I mean, as someone who I love reading people's stories, and when I read his story about him interning at Uptown and and what he was able to do and look at what he on the business side positively
on the business side, yes.
what he was able to get done. So there were several things that went through my mind when I initially read this when the book came out, Makeda. And you and I were talking about one of them before we went live here, and that is about the opportunity. But before, actually, when I was reading it just then, which is why I'm so glad we're doing this deep dive every week. Now what sticks out to me?
No, Cyrus, what?
That your boyfriend saw something in you.
Yeah, he did.
I want to talk about that first because that was not the initial thing that stood out to me. But the initial thing was about the opportunity. But I've had someone do the exact same thing to me. You saw something in me, some 16 years ago when you first heard about me doing this blog talk radio show. What was that like for you to reflect on that someone thought enough of you to bring you an opportunity they know could change your life?
I hate that you asked me that question because the reason I hate it is because as I was rereading this chapter yesterday in preparation for the show. I
Uh-huh.
actually thought about that ex-boyfriend from what was that, 100 years ago,
Right.
and how we fell out like
Mm,
several years ago. And I was
mm,
thinking, as like we're all like we're getting older now, and I was
yeah.
like, even though I don't speak to him right
Mhm,
now, I
mhm,
really feel like at some point, because we're getting old or I'm getting old, I should reach out to him to thank him, because
mm,
that really did him pushing me to take that non-paid internship really changed the trajectory of my career,
yeah.
and I remember um the ad, because we didn't have the internet back then. The
Mhm.
ad was in like the school paper. It was in the school paper. I remember him showing me the paper and me reading the paper and going like, well, this is crazy. It says non-paid. And literally, if he had not, like you said, saw something in me and pushed me and encouraged me to do it, and he was already in the entertainment business,
Ah,
so he knew more of how it worked. I didn't even, but I wasn't even trying to be in the entertainment business. I thought I was going to go work for a nonprofit agency
yeah.
or a corporation. So he literally did see something in me to steer me in that direction. So that's kind of crazy. And I hope I don't have to try to find him on LinkedIn and, and send him a note after all these years.
Well, but this is so, and see, you just shared something that's we didn't know because
What?
it's not in this chapter that he was in the business.
Yeah.
So see, that makes it even more powerful to me. See, I didn't even know
Wow.
that part. I thought it was just a boyfriend realizing this could be something for you. I didn't know it was someone who was already in the industry.
Yeah, he was in the
Yeah.
business.
Awesome. So then that leads me to the thing that I thought I was going to be talking to you about, like, when it comes to this, and that is just like in the cab, in the taxi, you still
Oh,
had to take the step. So what was that like for you to think of what might not have been? For one, if someone didn't see enough in you to offer you this opportunity that was unpaid, but then for you to take it and to see what happened, what was that like for you? Did you think about that when you were writing that and reflecting?
yeah, I think the reoccurring thing that comes to mind as I was writing this book is so interesting, because it seems so obvious, but it's not obvious. But really, life is really, and this sounds like so contrite, but life is really about taking that next step. And
Hmm.
life is really about making decisions about what your next step is going to be. You can go
Yeah.
left, you can go right, you can go up, you can go down, you can
Right.
just not even make a move and just sit stagnant. And I don't know. It's like this whole human journey is just about taking steps, making decisions, and continuing to push forward. It's almost like I never really played board games, but it's like the board game, the game of life. You have to keep, shaking the dice and moving around the board. That's
Right.
that's what life is really all about.
Yeah, so true. Allie says on Instagram, Frank Sinatra said, the best revenge is massive success. Hello to you also, Ellen Sutter over there on IG. Brandon Coleman, hello to you, celebrity photographer. Good to see you over there. For those that are just tuning in, welcome. You all are watching Flying Over 50 at Any Age with Makeda Smith. My co-host is also the author of the best-selling book you guys can see here. We're talking with her about day number 3 in her book. So her book is a 30-day self journal, but we are taking it week by week, really breaking it down. And today's topic: opportunities are like tricksters. They don't always look like what they are. So you then post something to us, the reader of this, Makeda. You say,
Mhm.
what opportunities have knocked on your door or are knocking on your door that you're hesitant to answer? And maybe it's time to open the door. And now we have you to be able to look at to see that, okay, because she took that step, look at what's happened. As you mentioned, you got one job after another, but now here you are over 30 years of running this yourself. What has that been like for you to think about for us? And for you writing this, Makeda, what did you want us to really reflect on as you shared your own experience and think about
Mhm.
ourselves?
I think as I was writing that, I want people to be introspective about their own journeys, because I think while we're living life,
Hmm.
we take a lot of things for granted. Like sitting down, writing this book, I was able to see how one step led me to the next step, led me to the next step. And it was something like when you're so busy living life that you don't really think about the steps or the journey. But
Yeah.
I think if you pay attention to the steps in the journey, the steps in your journey, it gives you encouragement to continue on.
Hmm. Yeah. I love that. And I think there's something too that's unsaid here, Makeda, with
Mhm.
this, and that is that what you were doing was also taking you down a path that was unfamiliar.
Yeah.
For me as a reader, that's one thing I picked up on. Like you mentioned, you had these accolades already going in this direction. Here is someone telling you about something in this direction,
Yeah.
making that leap of faith, right?
That's true.
I think that is, and so that says to me, for all of us, no matter what our age, what we've done,
Mhm.
don't be afraid to try something new, because you never
Yeah,
know what's on the
that's
other
true.
side of that. I love the way that you wrap this up, Makeda, because it reminds me of a illustration where you said maybe it's time to open that door and get ready to start flying. Because there's that saying. I'm sure you've seen that too, with the parent bird and the baby bird,
Mm.
and the baby bird is saying to the parent, "What if I fall?" And the parent is saying, "But what if you fly?"
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. I mean, with every decision, right? Just like we talked about last week, there is, yes, we could focus on what may not happen, but here,
Yeah.
you were able to see what did happen. I love that. I love that. I think it's a great reminder for all of us, for sure. Makeda, this has been a really good one. I like this. I like this message, and I think it's something that is so needed. And you encouraged us, just like you decided to write this book. You encouraged us to to write it down. Write down.
The running theme made me write this book, Cyrus, but okay.
But I didn't tell you to write it and never write it down. So now Makeda's telling y'all may need to write a book too. That's what she said. She literally says here, don't just think about, write about it.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing about the book. Every time you read a chapter, you should go write your own chapter or reflect on your own chapter.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Makeda, again, everyone, the best-selling author of Flying Over 50 at Any Age. Make sure you guys get your copy of the book. Again, I'm highlighting on the carousel there. It's available in paperback. You guys can get it there for $9.99, or you guys can be able to get the Kindle edition there for $5.99. And we would love to hear from you as you guys are watching the replay of this, or even after watching the live broadcast. What is that thing that you've been maybe thinking about doing, or an opportunity that you have not taken advantage of? We'd love to be able to know what you're going to do and making those steps, for sure. And SL Robinson, hello to you over there on IG. I'm glad you could be able to join us. Makeda, how can they stay connected with you, as well as find out more information about the Makeda method?
Um, I'm across all social media. At Flying Over 50 is on the screen, and at the Makeda Method, which is on the screen. And for PR, you can just find me at either of those hashtags and send me an email, and I can direct you to my PR agency.
Love that. Makeda, another great session. Looking forward to
Thank you,
next week.
Cyrus.
Of course, of course. And we thank you, our audience, for tuning in to another great segment of Flying Over 50 at Any Age. Until next time, you all make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon.
Blessings,
Take
everybody.
care.